Okay, welcome back to the pod today. I really wanted to answer a question that came up during my recent Telegram experience with a few of my clients. And really, the topic was, Riley, do I need to create a personal brand or a company brand? And what is the difference between these two brands? So, we're going to dive into this. Okay, so the difference is, say you're a chef and you want to create your own IP, your own cookbook, and you want to get on content to promote sales, brand deals, opportunities. That is where you're going to create a personal brand, okay? Now, when you come inside my masterminds, we're going to look at a 360 marketing strategy for you based on your personal brand, okay? But if that chef then opened up a restaurant that's going to live on past themselves, that is where they create a company and business brand, okay? And you as the person are going to use your own personal brand, which you've already built, to market that restaurant as well. Okay, so I would say, depending on the vision for your business and what you want to create, you definitely want to be starting with your own personal brand. The biggest piece is start with your own personal brand, and you can build on top of that, and then create a personal brand. But I truly recommend everyone needs their own personal brand, because if you don't have your personal brand, the benefits of having your personal brand is really you're able to build trust really quickly. Having your own authentic story creates relatability, and personal brands have a higher virality than a company brand, okay? Company brand is very, very strategic. It's a bit more editorial. It's a bit more, there's more, it's more strategic and curated versus a personal brand. It has more virality. It's builds trust. So all of those pieces come into play. Having a company brand can have, not always, but can have a higher authority element. But it really depends on the type of business that you're creating and what your long-term vision is. You know, someone like, for example, Kayla Insigns, she had a massive personal brand, right? And then later she created a company brand with the Sweat app. Now, she could have very much built the trainings and kept her trainings within her personal brand, right? She had PDF, she had ebooks, all of those things. But she decided to split her personal and company brand so that the app and something that she created could live on past her, right? She changed her view. Like, this is how I've seen this happening is, instead of just being a content creator, you change your view into becoming an entrepreneur. You change your view in the way you're viewing business. And that's, I think, the biggest difference between an artist, a creator, a creative, to an entrepreneur. And I really want to empower you to have both mindsets. I believe I'm both a creator, creator and entrepreneur. And someone said to me the other day, oh, you could help so many artists, Riley. There's so many artists, but they're broke, right? And that is because they are thinking like an artist and not an entrepreneur. And so it's very important to marry both. You need both. And I've spent a long time learning this other side and, always having that inner creative at heart, that inner artist at heart. So they're really people I feel passionate about helping. And you need to have this strategic mindset behind you. You need to have this business oriented mindset. You cannot just keep moving forward of like, I'm an artist or I'm a creator and I just want to create. It's like, I'm sorry, but we need to ground you in the reality of building both. And that is what I'm here to help you do. So, and I want you to look at the biggest creators, the biggest artists. Rihanna, also, she's a creator. She's an artist. But she also has an entrepreneur hat. She has Fenty. She's built a brand, right? This is something I'm working with one of my clients on, who's a UGC creator. And I channeled through. I was like, I'm actually channeling through that you're meant to create your own brand, right? You're meant to create your own brand. This is just the beginning, right? So, looking at the likes of Taylor Insigns creating Sweat, She started with her personal brand, then she built a brand, right? We have the likes of Rihanna, who is an artist who also built Fenty as her brand, right? The Kardashians do this, right? Literally, the Kardashians are the biggest brand builders. They build their personal brand and they also have brands. So I just love this. I'm so passionate about this. And this is what the top brands are doing and the top personal brands are doing. So, you know, when someone asks, oh, what's the difference between a company brand and a personal brand, build your personal brand first and then start creating company brand or something that you can curate, something that you feel passionate about, something that is an extension of you, and yeah, learn how to market and scale it, right? And the other thing is, don't wait, okay? Build the community first, and that is the power of building your personal brand, right? Have a community that you can launch to. So if you haven't even started creating, if you're, you know, you really need to build your brand, build your personal following first so that you create opportunity for you, okay? Don't launch and then think everyone's going to show up. You need to have we need to start building now, okay? So yeah. And if you want help doing this, obviously book a strategy call with me or my team and we can help you create these foundational pieces. The other thing I wanted to really sit with and go into with you guys is the difference between sales, marketing, branding, and PR, and at what stage you may need to invest in learning this or implement teams that can help you support this. Okay, so in the pipeline of marketing, the first key, if you're at a very base level marketing, very, very base level, like you're just starting out, all you need to focus on is sales. All you need to focus on is relationship building and your messaging and your authority, okay? That is a very base level. If you're just starting out, you need to learn sales. You need to learn how to cultivate relationships. You need to learn how to speak to your ideal client, your messaging. You need to understand your audience, okay? So when you're at very starting out, you need to learn sales and marketing. These are the fundamentals, right? Marketing is how do I attract, nurture, and convert clients? Those are really the pillars that you're working with, okay? This is where I go through in Runway, my foundational course, where I really teach you the fundamentals, okay? Once you're past the fundamentals, you're making money, you're attracting clients. The next stage is really taking your brand to a new level, okay? It's branding and PR. This is for people who they know what's moving in their business, but they want to take things to another level. They may also have just gone through a pretty big identity shift in they're in a new stage of their life. They're really moving through identity. And when we talk about personal branding, this is where you're setting your image up. Like personal branding is yourself, is on a base level, it's content, but once you're past that, it's actually matching your new identity with the authority, right? So that is where, you know, you're doing content shoots and we're really reestablishing your brand image. We're doing a 360 with the way you're viewing yourself. That's how you show up, what you're wearing, like how people are perceiving you. So personal brand really ties into perception, and I really work with you on creating the new foundations for that, whether it's through content creation, it's through photo shoots, video, it's reestablishing and channeling through your new identity and like bridging the gap between that online, right? Shifting your website positioning, shifting your business positioning, and yeah, you may even have shifted into a new clientele that you're ready to attract. So whether that's in your personal brand or branding, I help you execute that. And then we have what's PR. So I recently had someone reach out to me who's looking to do a book tour, and in my 10 years of branding and marketing and PR experience, I used to get brands featured in local PR. And so this client messaged me around, "Hi Riley, I've launched my book." Okay, so PR is where you have your own methodology, you have your own IP, right? This could be a book. This could be an album, right? Maybe you're an artist and you're launching an album. This could be your suite of art that you're doing a gallery launch with. This could be I wouldn't say a course, just because you've launched a course doesn't mean that you are ready for PR. But if you are doing something very unique, an example would be Sarah Jane, who does spinal energetics. I would say that, yeah, 100%, she's a great candidate for PR, because we can get her featured in magazines. We can really uplift her reputability and get her featured and publicized, which, with such a unique energetics program that she has created. If you don't know who Sarah Jane is, look her up. She's founded Spinal Energetics, and this really helps with increasing her reputability on a methodology. And yeah, she's really founded a new way of energetics, and I would say healing, transformation. And so we want to marry her unique view with, being more in the public eye, being less woo-woo, because she does have some sales objections that she probably navigates through, and marrying it with being more of the norm, okay, and the new way, right? She's really a leader in the new way, right? So this is what PR can really help with your brand and getting you out into more mainstream media, those types of things. So yeah, that's things like you have a unique viewpoint, you've got your own methodology, maybe you've written a book, maybe you've got your own album, a gallery suite. It's really your own creation, I would say. Maybe you have years and years of expertise and you've now shifted that into your own, you've got a trademark on something that you've built, right? We help market the PR and the publicity. So my recent client has reached out to me. She's written a book. She is being published or getting published. She's getting published she might be at the final stage of publishing. So we're just we're in strategy mode at the moment on how we're promoting her book. And so she reached out to me. She was like, Riley, I'm looking at ways to promote my book, tour, those types of things. So I want support in promoting and the publicity of that. So I'm working with her on the strategy of how we're going to be not just promoting the tour and her book, but how the book is a method for bringing people into her world, because the book is just like a lead magnet, really, on how to funnel people into her world and create change in other people's lives, right? So that's really where PR is. And if you have any questions about this, message me, message any of my platforms, and so that we can dive deep into this for you. Yeah, that's really where we're at. So I wanted to go through this as a fundamental, something that you can really get perspective on. Okay, what stage do I need? What am I looking to invest in? Where do I need the help? Do I need sales, marketing, support, branding, PR, so that you can get really clear on, what you're creating, what you need to invest time in learning skills with or support with through professionals that really understand how to help you. And so if you are looking for support with this, please reach out to our team to see what is the best fit for you. And I can't wait to see you inside our world.